Let me play you this tape. Listen to this tape.
Phenomenon. Many of our young professionals went to the Sudan. Many of them learned at the feet of Osama bin Laden, who was in exile, living in Sudan at the time, and a man by the name of Al-Turabi, who was one of the opposition leaders in the Sudan. Many of our young people, young professionals, educated young men and women went there and came back to Nigeria with these completely unacceptable ideas about establishing an Islamic fundamentalist state. And you saw this thing unfolding by the day. Perhaps the most vivid example that I'll share with you today, as unpleasant as it is the experience of a man by the name of Mr. Gideon Akaluka. Now, many people have been slaughtered over that period, but I'm going to use this particular case in order to illustrate a point to you today. There's a man by the name of Gideon Akaluka who was in a Kanu police station. He had been charged with something. He was being kept there. It was alleged.
You remember I told you the story?
Desecrated the Quran. I won't go further than that. That he desecrated the Quran.
You remember the story when I made the show?
The response of those that organized for his murder was this: they mobilized the crowd. They stormed the police station. They dragged him out. They cut off his head. And by the way, they filmed all this. This was all filmed. It was released. It's something that was viewed by millions of Nigerians at the time on television. They put his head on a pole and they paraded it and started screaming and shouting and rejoicing at the fact that they had done this. And his crime was that somehow or other they alleged that he had desecrated the Quran. The country was in a state of utter shock.
That's FFK.
This sort of thing had never happened.
That's Femi
It had never been so graphic, and people had not rejoiced about it as much as they did at that time. And of course, these things are not often filmed. This one was filmed. And the people that filmed it were happy to allow the whole of Nigeria to see what they had done. Now, the result of it was this. General Sani Abacha rose to the occasion. And they established the fact that
as bad and as brutal as Sani Abacha was when this incident was recorded, Sani Abacha gave an order for those 9 culprits to be arrested. They were arrested. They were all locked up. He gave an order for them to be executed. 8 were executed. But then 1 was spared. And who was that one that was spared? Sanusi, Lamido Sanusi.
9 people had organized this horrific act. There were 9 of them. All 9 of them had recently returned from the Sudan. All 9 of them had trained there. All 9 of them were committed to establishing an Islamic fundamentalist state.
They were trained, 9 of them trained in Sudan. 9 of them jihadists
in this country. And all 9 of them were ready to employ violence in order to achieve their objectives. What Abacha did was interesting and unique. Instead of rationalizing it, trying to explain it away like so many of our leaders do today, he simply ordered that the 9 should be fished out, and they should be eliminated. They should be killed. And he told his people that he was not ready to accept this type of evil in Nigeria at that time, or
despite the fact that Sani Abacha was a Muslim leader. He refused to condone the killing of anyone. He refused. Let's listen.
Anytime. And he was very decisive. It was a military government, a real soldier. And what happened?
What happened?
All 9 of them were fished out. 8 of them were killed. but one of them was not killed.
Spared.
Question is why?
Why? Well
Good
connected.
question.
Well
I'm
connected.
still asking that question today. I am told that he had
Connection.
such strong
Connections.
and that the president was lied to by the IG of police at the time and those that were in charge.
To assume they've killed him.
An extrajudicial killing. And the man was taken from Kanu because he had strong connections.
Yeah.
And he was hidden in a Sokoto prison for 2 years.
2 years.
Abacha thought he was dead.
Can you hear that?
After
Abacha thought Sanusi, Lamido Sanusi was dead, whereas he was not. But they killed the rest. They ate and then spared him.
2 years. I won't mention his name here, so nobody needs to have
He's already
fast heartbeat and all the rest of it.
This is
but everybody knows
FFK.
who it is, but I will not mention his name here.
It's not going to mention that name, but we have exposed that already. And that is someone that after he killed, just because of somebody who desecrated the Holy Quran. Look, I have seen someone in Nigeria who desecrated the Holy Bible, and I was angry. It does not matter. The two books are the most powerful. Look, this is the Holy Quran. I read some parts of the Holy Quran to you guys from this book on, oh, mankind. Fear your Lord who created you from one soul and created from it its mate and dispersed from both of them many men and women, Adam and Eve. And the same man, after all that, fooling Sani Abacha, thinking they've eliminated those Islamic radicals and fundamentalists. After Abacha's death suddenly surfaced, obviously due to the fact that he was highly connected. And he suddenly rose because somebody else whose son was involved in the suicide bombing, Abdul Muttalib, Umar Farouk Abdul Muttalib, father, then became a godfather and then sent him to Lagos as a banker. Then he started his connections in Lagos and he rose. He ascended to the same throne as the chairman, managing director of First Bank, to which Alhaji Umar Abdul Muttalib equally rose to. But then this guy could not match the southern brains that were already in banking from the Igbo and the Yorubas. Then came Umaru Yaradua. The same Bukola Saraki was the one that helped that same man, who later became the emir of Kano. Saraki took him to Umaru Yaradua. Yaradua then appointed him as the governor of the CBN. And then the moment he became the governor of the CBN, his first mission was to finish all his arch enemies in the banking industry. Finished everyone. And now, some people out there, yes, I met him I've met him, but I've always had my reservations. I was meant to see him when I was in Nigeria, but I've always had my reservations. He picked the best banker of the year award in London, glamorous award. Perhaps in some certain sectors of the banking sector, yeah, he probably, due to his reformed stuff, yeah, he helped the Western world to begin to develop confidence in our banking institutions. Yes, but then he never did the work. Professor Charles Soludo did the work when Obasanjo appointed Charles Soludo as the governor of the CBN. Everything was there. He just came to perfect everything because the banking system in Nigeria at the time, according to Charles Soludo, the wall was cracked open. And rather than use a paper wall to cover the crack on the wall, Charles Soludo, in a press conference to which I was present at the time, indicated that it was never his intention to use a wallpaper to cover the wall, but rather patch the wall structurally before covering it. And that was what Charles Soludo did. And the moment Charles Soludo started to patch the structural defect in the wall and then begin to patch everything up, that was when Sanusi Lamido Sanusi then came and then sealed everything up. Before Soludo was removed by Umaru Yar'Adua, Soludo was, as a matter of fact, looking into ways of how he could match our foreign exchange in terms of exchange based on the Ghana experience as the benchmark with Nigeria. But then Sanusi came and then everything. He wanted to introduce the 5,000 naira bill in Nigeria, but then good luck, Bello Jonathan quickly removed him. And that is the same man, a man. And some disgruntled people who are screwed up there want me to believe in my own heart of hearts that somebody that killed someone just for desecrating the Holy Quran in public and then given instructions to chop the person's head off is the next person you lot want to root an Islamic fundamentalist to come rule you again. Heaven help you guys.